Good morning. Hey, welcome. Very glad to have you with us this morning. And for those of you online, we are very happy that you're here with us today as well. So I'm going to just say what a gorgeous day it is. I just want you to know we have had some of the most phenomenal weather. Oh my goodness gracious. It's going to get hot this week though. Going to be the humids are coming in and the heat's going up, but we have just been blessed beyond measure with absolutely gorgeous weather. So I'm really glad that you're with us today. And that shows me the dedication and commitment you have to your spiritual growth to be here on a day like today. So I feel extremely blessed that you're with us. So let us begin as we do by standing and singing together our opening song, which opens our hearts.
Come, let us gather together. This is a place of love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love. Come, let us gather in peace. This is a sacred space. We join our hearts here in one loving family. This is a house built on love. We come together as people of prayer. This is a house built on love.
Thank you, and please be seated. And I'm going to invite you to join me in prayer. Our hearts are open wider than they were when we came through the doors or before you came online with us, because music does that. Music expands us. So I'm going to invite you right now to expand yourself. Expand the love that you are. Let it go out as far as it needs to go. For we are all made of love. Love is who we are. And so as we've come together this morning, we are here to hold the space, to grow ourselves, to deepen our own journey. And as we do that, we serve the world. Think about that. The more that we become aware of our divinity, knowing that we are fully divine as well as fully human, we serve the world. You don't have to go out and do active service, although active service is always welcomed, but just remembering the truth of who we are. And when we are serving the world from love, we are showing up in compassion and kindness, respect, all of these qualities that are part of us. And everybody that comes into our field feels that. And then they take that and move it along. So it's like that ripple effect. The more we give it away, the greater it becomes. And so for that and so much more, knowing that we are people of peace, people of love, we say thank you, God. Thank you, God. Would you say that with me? Thank you, God. And so it is, and we let it be. Amen. Wow. Thank you. I always love opening my eyes because new people join us when I got my eyes closed. So, welcome everybody. And again, very grateful that you're with us this morning. I want to give a shout out to Matt. He did an awesome job last week, had a wonderful message for us last week. And I had a wonderful time away and continuing expanding myself, which is so that I can come and give it to you. So, I'm grateful for that opportunity. And let me see if there's anything else I want to share with you at this moment. I usually have a story to tell you, but I don't think I have a story this morning. So we'll just stand and say our invocation. And let us join our hearts and our words together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Love is always present, only love. And our vision statement is centered in divine love. We celebrate a spiritually transformed world. That centered in that place of pure love. We embody, we show up as love. And our mission statement is Unity Center for Spiritual Growth reaches in to reach out through education, service, and creation of community. Everything begins in prayer, and then we take that and we apply it where we're being called. And we have core values that we live by, and they are, we are loving, we are accepting, we are authentic, we are transformative, we are soul-centric, we are compassionate, and we are welcoming. And that is the truth. And Matt did a wonderful job last week of bringing all of this into his talk. And so I'm going to turn it over to Dina now for our community song.
So we have a new one this week. I'm going to teach it to you. This is Where Do We Come From? And there are the lyrics right there. That's all there is. And it sounds like this. Without the reverb from the meditation. Where do we come from? What are we? You know what? Choir, hang on for a second. I'm just going to sing it so that they can get a beat on it. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. The two first lines are exactly the same as each other. Sing them with me. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Next line. Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. I think you got it. We'll do it a couple times so you can get comfortable. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
Please be seated. I chuckled when we first started this song. For those of you that get my daily text this morning says I'm on my way. So, wherever that is, I don't know, but I'm on my way. Oh, here we go. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, this is the time in our service where we find out if you are with us for the very first time. And Scott just let me know that he has a way of letting us know what's happening on our chat line, that we can see when people are putting something in the chat. So yes, go ahead, Scott. Oh, okay. I thought we were going to get to see it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I still want you, if you are with us for the very first time online, to put your name in the chat box and let us know where you're coming to us from. And if there's anybody here in the room that's with us for the very first time, we'd like to hear from you as well. Anybody here for the first time? I don't think so. So I know that there are some people that are back for the first time for a long time. So I would just love for you to just let us know. Raise your hand if this is your first time back in a very long time. Yes, welcome. We are so glad that you are with us this morning. And that makes my heart sing. So how we are going to greet one another is by standing and then singing through one chorus of Namaste, and then the second time through, we will greet with one another with a bow or a nod or a smile or whatever feels right for you. So let us stand as we do that.
Namaste, namaste. My heart sings Namaste. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Namaste, namaste, namaste. My heart sings namaste, namaste. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Namaste, 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 namaste.
Thank you. And this is really the part that Matt focused on is our 5 basic principles. So if you were here last week or if you listened, he did a wonderful job of bringing the 5 basic principles into his message. And I love these 5 basic principles because they are what I use, and I'm sure what you use, whether you're even aware of it or not, you're using these 5 basic principles in your life on a daily basis. If you are at all in touch with your spiritual life. So the first one is that God is good and everywhere present. And I like to say also that love is good and everywhere present. There is no place that you are that love or God is not. The second one is that the Spirit of God lives within each person. Each person is inherently good. Every single one of us has that spark of divinity within us that was in Jesus, that was in Muhammad, that was in all of the masters that we follow. So there is no place and there's no one that you come in contact with that doesn't have that spark within them. And what we do is we forget. We forget that it's there for ourselves and for others. The third one is that our thoughts are creative. And I watch this all week long. I watch how I will have a thought that pops into my head, and before you know it, something is showing up that is part of that thought process. And I bet you do too. The thing that we need to do is be aware. Stay aware of when a thought pops into your mind of someone, maybe, and then the next thing you get a text from them or you get a phone call from them. It happens over and over, and we don't always see it because we're not paying attention. We're not being aware of it. So our thoughts are creative. So as you think it, so be it. And so making sure that you're thinking the thoughts that you want to see happen. If you can do that with a person calling you, just think about what you can do in other areas of your life. I learned something this week. I'm going to teach it to you right now. And that is when we have a thought that creates anxiety. Anybody have that happen? You've had a thought that creates anxiety? No, I didn't think so. We're highly evolved. But if you have a thought that creates anxiety and you can feel it, that I get it right in the pit of my stomach. Here's what you do. And within a minute or two, you will find yourself calming right down. It's not offensive. It's not something you have to say to anybody, but you can feel it and you just start to work that right across your lip. And before you know it, you'll find the energy of whatever the anxiety is dissipating. It's that easy. So you're leaving here with a new technique. The fourth one is prayer and meditation. And this is the hallmark. This is what creates the remembering that there is only one presence or that there is only love and that we are all inherently good and that our thoughts are creative and we get to choose what we want. So prayer and meditation is that conscious connection with spirit. And then, of course, the last one is putting it into action. How do we put these into action? You're doing it many times unaware. So just be more mindful, stay more present, and see when those are happening. Almost keep a scorecard. Oh, I just used God is good and everywhere present. Or I just changed my thought. I'm now thinking of a thought I want to think. So it's just becoming more and more conscious. So how have you used these techniques this week? Anybody Yes, Nancy. Is this live? Thank you, Dina.
Nothing. Is it
Now
on
it
now?
is.
Okay.
Bring it down a little bit. It's a little high for you. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I have a swimming pool at my house, which means my granddaughters come over all the time. So it's very easy to see number one and number two because they are so happy and all the time just joyous and having fun. Well, the oldest one sometimes gets a little grumpy. She got what I wanted. She did, and I've been reminding her for the last couple weeks. Number three, it's your choice. You can be grumpy, you can be sad about it, or you can just let it go and be happy. And it's starting to work. She's starting to just turn things around and be happy much faster.
Oh, my goodness.
So I love it.
And how old is she?
7.
7. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yep.
What a teaching that young. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Anybody else have one that they want to share of how they've been using these tools this week? Well, I know that you have, and I know what's going on here. I know you just want to get through this service so you can get outside. No, I know that's not true. If there's anybody online that has a story to tell, Christine is monitoring the chat box. And if there's something good, Christine, let us know. Okay? Perfect. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to shift into our daily word. And our daily word reader this morning is... Who did I see as my daily word reader this morning? Anybody know if you're the daily word reader this morning? I read it, but it's not there right now. All right. Thank you, Kim, please. I don't remember who was on there. Exactly. I love the way we flow.
Yeah. What else can you do? Good morning, everybody. Our daily word for today, Saturday, July 16th, is prosperity. I joyfully share my prosperity. Those who tend a garden know there will be an abundance of fruit, vegetables, or herbs to share at harvest time. Likewise, I know I am richly blessed with divine ideas and can tend to those ideas in my consciousness just as I tend my garden. When those ideas take manifest form as my talents and gifts, I share that harvest with joy. Today, I reflect on prosperity as gifts I can share. Whether the gift is sharing one of my talents or skills or providing something material, I put my love and grateful energy into it. I am never diminished when I share of myself. Rather, I am enlarged as I give, magnify my prosperity, and celebrating the glory of God. And from Proverbs chapter 3, 9 through 10, honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. I have to repeat this line, I just love it. I am never diminished when I share of myself. I'm never diminished when I share of myself. I joyfully share my prosperity.
Thank you, Kim. Yes. Yes.
Trust today.
Well, they go hand in hand, so we'll stay with the prosperity. So Dina, do you have a song from yesterday or do you have a song from today?
Both. This is a song that I practiced a lot yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm going to trust that it's all happening correctly. This is a song by Janice Stanfield. Moving out of the safety zone, moving in to the great unknown. Will I find my way, find my place? Will the life I seek know my face? When we stand between the no longer and the not yet, we follow our questions where we are led, between the no longer and the not yet. Sometimes we falter when we forget that the answers we can't see wait patiently between the no longer and the not yet. I am not caught between, I am not trapped between, I am standing simply asking, between the no longer and the not yet. We follow our questions where we are led, between the no longer and the not yet. Sometimes we falter and we forget that the answers we can't see wait patiently between the no longer and the not yet, between the no longer and the not yet, between the no longer and the not yet.
Thank you, Dina. I think all you need to know from today is I place my trust in God. That's it. And I remembered who was to do the daily word, and it was Nancy Sawyer, and she's just come back from Scotland. So probably why she's not here this morning. Oh my goodness. So I'm continuing the series with this book, The Third Coming, which I'm totally enjoying. If you have it yourself, I hope that you're following along with me, and you'll see that I deviate a lot, but I come back. So so today, over the last weeks that I've been talking about this, I've been sharing different awakenings that different people have been having, their spiritual awakenings. And so today I'm going to talk about Paul's mystical experience on the way to Damascus. And this comes out of Acts. As he neared Damascus on his journey, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice say to him, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" "Who are you, Lord?" Saul asked. "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting," he replied. "Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. See, this is why we sometimes are fearful of having a spiritual awakening, because we may be being asked to do something and we don't want to do it. Okay? So Saul is being told, go into the city and wait for your instructions. The men traveling with Saul stood there speechless. Can you imagine? They heard the sound but did not see anyone. Saul got up from the ground, but when he opened his eyes, he could see nothing. So they led him by the hand into Damascus. Now, I'm sure you don't have to have been a Bible scholar to probably have heard this story at least once or twice. And that was a time when Saul became Paul. I want to share a piece from Shannon Peck, and it's called, from her book, Soul Evolution, Extraordinary Stories of Past Lives. She writes, I sensed that my client's soul was in a stage of emergence on earth, and she was in a phase of becoming far more of her higher self. It felt big. This was the beginning. As part of her process of becoming, for now she was cocooning. And so this is what we're going to be talking about this week, looking at the darkness of the cocoon. Peck writes, a cocoon state is a deep state of transformation. There are a few ways of entering. One way is that you enter the cocoon because of a tragedy or a trauma. Could have occurred suddenly, or it could have been over time. You're being overwhelmed. You need time to catch up with what has happened. Does this sound familiar? Have you had opportunities where this has been part of your life experience? Whether or not it's convenient, a pause is required. You enter the cocoon as a result of outgrowing your old self. I love that. I love that analogy of outgrowing your old self. And that was what Paul was doing, is he was outgrowing his old self, the self that was focused on me, me, me. It comes about from your repeated attempts to work through things that have been difficult for you. You've prayed, contemplated, self-examined, changed, and improved. You come to the place where you want to live a more awakened life. And you've done this a lot. So here are some examples of what you might experience. First, we deny anything is occurring. You know, we try to just bulldoze our way through, just like we've always done. We just think it's a blip, nothing big. I'll get past this and get back to normal. Anybody have that thought? Sometimes it's true. But in other cases, when real metamorphosis has begun, we run into a welter of dissolving experiences. So I'm going to take you through 3 stages of this cocoon, and you'll recognize them. We don't get to this stage of our life, as I'm looking at the age group in this room, without having gone through some of these, if not all of them. So stage 1 is dissolving. We may feel that everything is falling apart, that we're losing everyone and everything. Dissolving feels like death, because it is. It is the demise of the person we've been. So what do? Live one day, 1 minute at a time. Practice some good self-care. Now, I'm talking to you from a voice of experience here. You do know that. Talk to people who've gone through what you're going through. But most important, let yourself grieve. Let yourself have the time. Take the pause. Don't try to just bull your way through like a bull in a china closet. Then we move into the imagining stage. For those of us who have just a few tiny control issues, not a lot, but some, this is when the part of you that wants to know your destiny, the imago in your psyche will begin giving you instructions. These instructions will be about how to reorganize the remnants of your old identity into something altogether different. The word imago is the root of the word image. You'll know you're beginning stage 2 when your mind's eye starts seeing images of the life you are about to create. These can't be forced. Like dissolving, they happen to you. And they're never what you expected. It's never how you thought it was going to be. You're becoming a new person. You'll develop traits and interests that your old self didn't have. You may feel compelled to change your hairstyle or wardrobe or redecorate your living space. Okay, friends, I'm changing my office. I've wiped out the old and the new is coming. And it's coming slowly because it's happening in a process. So many things in my life right now are changing, as in yours, I'm sure. For some people, retiring has changed their whole landscape. For other people, it might be a job change. But there are things that are happening in all of our lives that are calling us into a change. And I'm doing all of these things. The old order simply seems wrong, and you'll begin reordering your outer situation to reflect your inner rebirth. It happens on the inside first before it can happen on the outside. Let yourself daydream. Use your power of imagination. Stage 2 is all about images, making them up, making them clear, making them possible. Moving through this stage, you'll start to feel an impulse to go from dreaming, from imagining the possibilities, to scheming, planning to bring your vision to fruition. How am I going to make this happen? It's feeling right. It feels alive. What am I going to do with it? Write down both your dreams and your schemes, and then gather all the information about how you might create them. Start doing your research, because this is going to be the next iteration of your life. And then the third stage is reforming. You'll feel motivated to do real physical things to build a new life. And then, could you give me a drum roll, please? You'll fail. Repeatedly, you'll fail. Reforming your life, like anything new, complex, and important, inevitably brings up problems you didn't expect. Stage 3 demands the ingenuity of Thomas Edison and the tenacity of a pit bull. The ingenuity of Thomas Edison and the tenacity of a pit bull. So expect things to go wrong. Be willing to start over. You may need to revisit phase 2. Go back to the intention setting, using your power of imagination. And most importantly, persist. Persist with what you're doing. So we have stage 1. Stage 1 is dissolving. Stage 2 is imagining. Stage 3 is reforming. And now stage 4 is flying. Stage 3 is like crawling out of your cocoon and waiting for your crumpled, soggy wings to dry and expand. Stage 4 is the payoff, the time when your new identity is fully formed and you're able to fly. This is a time to enjoy. This is a time to make some small improvements. This is a time to know that you have the formula as other changes show up, and they are certainly going to. But you now have a roadmap. Many of you remember when we did some work with Bill Plotkin and Soulcraft. I want to share from Bill's newest book, The Journey of Soul Initiation. He writes, when the cocoon opens in the imago, the recently formed butterfly emerges and slowly, tenderly opens its damp, soft wings, but has not yet taken to the air. It is not yet capable of flight. It needs to sit a while and slowly flap those new wings to get the blood pumping and to fill out the wing structures. Have you ever watched that happen? I had the opportunity a couple of years ago. I was sitting outside, and all of a sudden I looked down, and that's what was happening. This butterfly was starting to get itself together, and I watched it. It was amazing to watch. This is Bill again. Although the former caterpillar is in its new form, it doesn't yet know what it can do. It is in the open air for the first time and fully experiencing its adult body, sensing its wings and their potential. Likewise, you, the human initiate, are still in the cocoon stage, but nearing the end while you're being initially seen and experienced by others in your adult form. That's the end of his quote. The change is bigger than our current self. We need time to integrate our growth with who we are becoming. Cocooning is like a divine pause, and it's almost impossible to push out of it. I hope you're getting images as I'm saying this, because this is such a process that is very exciting, and probably many of you are in it and haven't had words to put to it. So it's almost impossible to push out of it, and that's okay, because we will find that when we reemerge, we won't have lost anything. In fact, we will have gained far more than we now realize. Once we reemerge from your slow cocoon state, or our slow cocoon state, our new self will be evident. Now, this is a good time to pause and recognize that we're undergoing an important process, which is allowing us to advance. Jim Rosemary, that's who we're reading about, says, the light of spiritual awakening reveals all things. It can shine into the dark places and puzzles us as it did Paul. Or it can bring greater clarity and a sense of mission as it did Buddha. The light of truth can reveal a need for forgiveness as it did David. or it can ignite a bush and reveal that the ground upon which we stand is holy as it did Moses. Basically, we must face ourselves, the human and the divine, fully human, fully divine. And it can be just as difficult to discover that we are spiritual beings as it is for us to realize that our whole life has been self-centered and without true meaning. That's the end of his quote. Cocooning is a wonderful time to marinate in your essence as it organizes itself to create new and higher forms in your life. This is the spiritual way of living. It's where your consciousness creates your future. And again from Jim, the lesson for me was that the spiritual path includes both our human and our spiritual natures. It is enlivening beyond words to experience the spiritual self that lives in oneness with God. But it likewise helpful to fully experience the human self that thinks it knows best. Through our spirituality, we come to know love and our oneness with God. But through our humanity, we realize the need for forgiveness, compassion, and humility. Through our spiritual self, we realize we can help others. Through our humanity, we understand that we need help as well. So would you agree with me that where and when a spiritual awakening occurs is a mystery? However, we can adopt a way of life that invites the second coming. Plato gives us a reminder when he says the life which is unexamined is not worth living. So then we move into the third coming. So if we're to examine our lives, what questions do you think we need to ask of ourselves? Or better yet, what questions do you think Spirit might be asking? So I'm going to invite Dina to take us into meditation as I ask you some questions.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. Hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love, see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. Hallelujah.
So as I ask these questions of you, I ask you to listen. Listen with your heart. What do you hear? What do I value? What do I value? For what would I give my life? For what would I give my life? What kind of a person do I want to be? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What is at the center of my world? And what evidence do I have that this is so? Answers may or may not come, but what is most important is that you are stirred and moved by these questions. I'm going to invite you to stay right in this meditative place. Life must be different because you heard the question. And in this way, you are changed. A new you is being born. One that is more receptive to the coming birth. And I will end with this prayer. For mystery I thirst. Into mystery's hand I commit my spirit, my soul, my body, my life, and all unforgiving states. Mystery will be done through me. Heal me at depth. Reveal that which needs to be revealed, and heal that which needs to be healed, so I can glorify you, mystery, and live in the fullness of mystery. It is finished. And so it is. And we let it be. And so when you're ready, come back into this state. Bring yourself back to here and now. And we'll end. Thank you. Now you back? Take a deep breath. Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm going to share a few things that are happening. First of all, I want to share that our children are doing a fundraiser, and it's for the Misfits. It's an organization in Auburn that takes care of hurt wild animals. And so we are, the children are doing this fundraiser. Misfits Rehab is the name of the organization. And if you would like to donate to it, they will be right around the corner in Fellowship Hall with envelopes for you to support them. If you're making out a check, you can make it out to Unity. And our goal is for them to get to $500, and it's going to be going on through the middle of August. So, and I was told today, if you don't lick the envelope, they get to use the envelope again. There was a feng shui basics that was to happen today, and that has been postponed. That will happen later in the fall. Kirtan will be happening tonight, though, at 7:00. It will be Todd Glacy and friends. And if you've never experienced Kirtan, please come back. It is music, mantra, and meditation. It is a wonderful experience to get into, especially after what we've just been talking about this morning, because it will help you to get into a more expanded state of awareness. Next Friday night, weather permitting, and it looks like it's going to be good. It might be hot and humid, but we will be doing a little bit of a celebration of life for my beloved. And it will be a fire circle and drumming. We will have stuff for s'mores. We'll have drinks. We'll have some snacks. Starts at 7:30. Please bring a chair if you have one, a lawn chair, and make sure that you bring whatever you need for if those little buggies are out. We're hoping they're not going to be, but you know how it is. It's summer in Maine. So that will be next Friday night at 7:30. Next Sunday, after the service, will be another opportunity for a different type of meditation. And I am not at all familiar with this type of meditation. It's Sahaja Yoga. And it's to experience self-realization through this practice. I was contacted by 2 people locally and asked if they could come. They would love to share this. They would like to get a group going on a regular basis. It's free, and they are very excited about this. So they will be giving us an experiment or an experience after the service next Sunday. And then, of course, Barbara's back. So Midday Faith Lift is back on again. And Barbara is our partner today. Heart-centered meditation with Leah happens on Thursday nights. Friday night music with Dina continues to go on. And there are always new things coming along. So check out Facebook. Check out our website. We have more things being posted on more of our events and stuff are being posted on Facebook. If you see, please, every day, go to Unity Greater Portland's Facebook page. Any of the events that are happening, if you hit share, it will go to your Facebook page and it will go out to all your friends. So you can see how if everybody would do that, it does 2 things. It ups our volume, so it moves us up in the algorithm. And the other thing that it does is it reaches so many more people. Mary, who is doing our children's program, is also doing our social media right now. And so we are really trying to get more information out for a greater audience. So those are the things that are happening. Yes.
I just want to say, because I was an admin for someone that does live feeds and such on Facebook, that they wanted us to do more than just hit share. They wanted us to make some kind of comment and not just an emoji. They wanted us to, to say a couple words with the share, because that also ups in the algorithm and does more.
Oh, Suzanne, thank you.
Facebook is like getting trickier all the time. I swear, because of my operation, I haven't been really active on my page. And I got a thing the other day that popped up from Facebook that said they were only giving me 5 engagements.
Wow.
Whatever the heck that
Means.
means.
Wow.
I just wanted to say
Thank you.
that, being someone who was asked to do that, please put some sort of a word comment too.
Perfect. Do all of that to help us because that really does spread the word for us. So thank you, Suzanne, for that. And for those of you online, we know that you know how to use Facebook because you're with us this morning. So please do as much as you can to promote and let people know that we're here. And so now is there was one other thing I wanted to say, and that is open mic will be happening the 29th. Again, it's the last Friday of the month, and it will be happening right here. And this is the configuration. Yes, Connie. Yes.
So my name is Connie, everyone, and I'm a nurse, and I've been doing geriatric care for a long time. And recently, my employment status switched, and I'm just trying to network and let people know that what I would like to offer to people is those who are doing full-time care for elderly parents. I'm offering respite services for a date night out during the week or an occasional overnight or weekend away. And I'm finding that there's an awful lot of need for that, so I just want to put it out there to you, really, when you know that I'm available.
Thank you, Connie. Yes. So for those of you online, Connie is saying that she is a nurse, has been doing elderly care, and is available for respite. So if anybody wants to contact Connie, they can go to our Unity GP office email, and I can get you their Connie's contact information. So, yeah. All right. Now is the time for us to receive our tithes and offerings. And I do want to say again how grateful we are for those of you that are giving to us on a regular basis. By you having an automatic deduction helps us immensely in our budgeting. And our year end is coming up. August 30th is 31st, whatever the last day of August is our year end. And so we really want to make sure that we end in the black this year. And so I'm kind of putting out a little bit of a plea. If you haven't given recently and would like to, we would surely appreciate that. And so now let us speak our, and yes, and I want to tell you this. Finally, PayPal heard me. I know it was me that said it. But now on PayPal, you can designate it. There's a little box that says write a comment. So you can designate if you're giving to a class, you can put the name of the class in there, or if you're giving to the fundraiser for the children. So it now identifies where your donation is going. And that has been missing for a long time. So very grateful for that. Okay. So now is the time for us to say our offering statement together. Divine love flowing from me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. And thank you, God, for the joy of giving.
While the offering's being taken, please join us in singing Thank You for This Day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My loving, my loving, my loving. smile. Spirit, thank you for this life. Thank you for this life. Spirit, thank you for this life. It's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's wonderful life. It's wonderful, it's wonderful, it's wonderful life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
Yes. We are so grateful. We bless these tithes and offerings, knowing that they go forth to do what is ours to do to make the world a better place. And so it is. Amen. So let us stand as we sing together.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to me. With God as the one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. In every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Please join me as we say together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is swell. And the children are right at the door with their envelopes.